Hi, everyone. Welcome to Eat Well, Be Happy. I'm Deborah.
And I'm Robin.
And we're messing up in the kitchen again today. Messing around, not
Messing
messing up.
around.
Because when you use good ingredients and when you eat well, you are happy, even if the recipe isn't exactly what you intended to start with. And naturally, we want you to remember to use organic because we think you're worth it. We don't want you to be getting those extra pesticides or herbicides. So that's what we're about.
That's
and my
right.
sidekick here is shaking her head, and I'm not sure it means she's wrong or she's right, but
Nope, no pesticides. That's what I was doing.
So we're going to be making a lentil dish with broccoli and carrots and duck bacon and a little fried eggs on top. And we're going to be making a salad with arugula and Napa cabbage, and we're going to add some cultured veggies, and we'll talk about those. And then to take it all home, we're going to do one of the simplest desserts known to man or women. We've done similar variations on the show, and this time we're going to do a kind of a tropical fruit sorbet for you without any added sweetener whatsoever. So here we go.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay.
All right. So I cooked these lentils yesterday, and they're definitely al dente. They're a little tooth, not so tender, but it's the way I like them for a lot of dishes. And if I were making this for company, I might make them a little more tender, but you're not company, you're part of the family. So get used to using those teeth and chew. Lentils are one of those things that don't have to soak them overnight. They cook really easily. They're really healthy. And do you have your skillet for you do?
I do.
All right. So yesterday we cooked
Don't like that sound?
chalk on a chalkboard. Yesterday we cooked a package of duck bacon, and I had promised someone in our store that we would use duck bacon because she said it's her kids' all-time favorites. And this is from 2 packages of duck bacon. This is the fat we got left. So they say that duck bacon isn't as fatty as pork bacon, and I'd say that's probably correct if you look at the
Absolutely.
amount of fat that came off, because this is all the fat that was rendered off those 2 packages of duck bacon. But now we're going to use it to saute some onion and garlic.
Right.
There you go, Miss
Okay,
Robin.
thanks. This is going to make it delightful.
Do
Let
you
me
want
just
me
melt
to
this.
dump this in?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm hoping we're not running out of gas in the middle.
No, I have it down.
Okay. No, I hope the canister is not going to run out.
Oh, I hope not either. All right, so what do we have in here?
You have in there a whole chopped onion, so it's
Okay.
about 2 cups.
Okay.
And you've got in there about 4 to 6 cloves of garlic. It
All right.
just doesn't matter. Do what you like.
Cook them about?
And we're gonna, yep. And while those are sauteing, then we're gonna see we steamed about a whole head of broccoli and about 4 carrots. And you can see that they are nice and steamy. So the broccoli is perfect. The carrots are not quite. Huh, not quite. Or too hot.
They're probably very hot.
Excuse me. But, I'm still gonna put them in.
They're perfectly colored. They're so bright. There we go. There we
I
go.
put that carrot in my mouth. I always think in this country, we're so used to eating the things that we love, or ice cream, pasta, pizza, all those things that just kind of slide right down. And we've gotten away from chewing, and we were given teeth to chew with. So I'm trying to encourage you to get back to chewing some. All right, so we got about our bunch of cauliflower. We've got about our 4 carrots in there. And I'm going to add, if you don't mind, I'm going to add about half the duck bacon and just sort of mix that in too. And we could have sauteed it all together, but we figured that would take too long today. So you can see you can do things in fits and starts. You can saute this the day before. And we're going to add, we have to wait for those. They're not done
they're
yet.
not ready.
Okay. Well, we're going to wait, and then we will top it. We'll add the onions, we'll add the rest of the duck bacon, we'll add the last of the veggies, and then we'll just sort of season it. So very simple.
Now, what about eggs?
Oh yes, we're gonna serve it with fried eggs on top. Thank you.
Do you want me to put this, the sauteed onions into the salad to make a dressing like that
Yeah.
first and then cook the eggs?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we want to talk about lentils being very low glycemic index. So you know when something is high glycemic index, like white sugar, it's a value of 100. And that means it hits you and immediately your bloodstream goes, the sugar in your bloodstream goes whoop, and then you crash. Lentils have a very low glycemic index, I think 20, something like that, very
Yep.
low. Plus they have all that fiber, and that just kind of keeps a slow, steady release of energy into your body. So I always think of lentils as energy food.
It is. Very sustaining.
Very sustaining, very nourishing, and you can feed a whole army on a handful of lentils. How inexpensive they are. I think I use just a plain old brown lentil. You can use more exotic ones. They're black belugas, and they're all different kinds. All right, so you know what? We'll let that do its thing.
Let's,
And maybe what we can do is we can, I do want to say broccoli. Why do we love broccoli, Robin?
because it tastes good.
But former President Bush didn't think so. Former President Bush didn't like broccoli, and he said no broccoli in the White House. He banned it from the White House.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So why else would or should he have had broccoli?
It's high in vitamin C. It's high in fiber.
Yes. And also chlorophyll, because anything green has that chlorophyll, and that's the blood of the plants.
Right.
So if we're eating that blood of the plants, it's enriching our blood as well. But the thing about broccoli, it's part of that cruciferous family. So part of that cabbage family, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. What else am I thinking of? Napa, which we're going to use, kale, all that stuff, the cruciferous family. They do have properties that are anti-cancer. So again, if you're eating a handful of broccoli once or twice a week, does that mean you're never going to get sick? No. But every little bit we can do to protect ourselves and to help ourselves is, it's worth it. Again, we have a meal that is going to have protein in it. It's going to have a fair amount of fat. We want to balance that with a salad that, is just going to sort of, in the springtime in particular, you want to be having all those cleansing, detoxing salads. And I don't know how many of you like or use these little guys.
Endive.
Endive, thank you. There's red endive, there's purple endive. Mostly we see the green endive, which is almost white, but we're going to use that. And I have become, as Robin knows, addicted to Napa cabbage just because I love the crunchiness of it, and it's easy to chew.
And it's kind of mild too.
Yeah, so here I just went and said, everybody get over it, get back to chewing, but this is easier to chew. And it is a little spicy because it is a cabbage. And the other thing I chose in here was baby arugula. And this is probably too much for this salad, so I hope you like arugula, and I hope you like a little spicy salad. So we have that in there, and I'm just going to slice the Napa. So I like to cut things so that they're bite-sized. And so if I make a ring here, I'm probably better off doing it this way first, because anytime you're making anything, you want to make it so if you're sitting across from a first date or for someone you're interviewing for a job, you need to be able to fit it into your mouth with some delicacy. Ever been in that situation? Well, I have, and I remember it was pretty embarrassing when I had something hanging out and I couldn't get it into my mouth. Let's just tear these.
Okay.
Instead of cutting them, you want to tear?
Sure.
And I'll continue to cut. I have tried growing endive in my garden here in New England, and I have not been very successful. I have, however, grown Napa cabbage, and I must say the bugs like that and all the cruciferous vegetables more than anything in the garden, more than tomatoes, more than cucumbers, and you just have to keep treating them. I make a hot pepper garlic spray that I spray it with, but they really do respond to something called neem, which is from a tree in India, and it is a natural, accepted, organic, anti-bug thing for gardens. And we also, we use neem in shampoos and toothpaste and all different kinds of things. And this would be a heck of a lot easier to slice. I just want to get a different texture.
You know what I'd like to do?
What?
I'd like to take that bacon and put it in this pan and crisp it up before we put it in there, and then I'll cook eggs.
Okay,
Thanks.
sounds good. So we have in here sort of 3 hearty, different kinds of greens. And I wanted to try something just a little bit different. So I wanted to add some cultured vegetables to this also. And I didn't grow up with cultured vegetables. The only time we had sauerkraut, and I'm not sure it was properly cultured, was when we had hot dogs. And we had it on the bun with mustard. But cultured vegetables really have all the probiotics, all the digestive enzymes. And I like it when somebody else has done the culturing for me, because if you culture in your own kitchen, it's like making kimchi. It's very aromatic, to put it politely. And it does smell like something has died in your kitchen. So I like it when somebody else makes that. And this one, they talk about gut health, probiotics, energy, immune, pH balance, post-workout, and then they say laxative. Have you ever known this is laxative? Only if your gut is very compromised and you're constipated.
Well, it just kind of, it's like a neutralize, it's the regulator.
You talk while I get a spoon or something.
Actually, cultured vegetables are a higher source of probiotics than probiotics that you buy in the store.
So I figured we would use, just about, I don't know, a cup maybe. We'll just sort of toss them in. And this particular flavor is garlic dill pickle. That's what they're calling it. So they do have some dill in there. They do have some garlic. And it does come with a liquid, which is extremely healthy. And I will not add that now. We'll see if we want it. But let me just find our little recipe and see. So we have in there about 2 cups or so of arugula. Don't you do that to me again.
Sorry.
2 cups of endive torn. And then we have about 2 cups of the sliced Napa cabbage. We probably add a little more. We probably add about 4, so about double. We add a cup of cultured veggies. And then we're going to add some lemon juice, some lemon zest, and some pressed garlic, and olive oil and salt and pepper. So again, really simple. I always wonder that people are afraid to make salad dressings. To me, olive oil, salt and pepper, and garlic and some lemon is a perfect salad dressing, and you don't need anything more. But you can, but you don't need anything more. So for instance, if one of my brothers was here, I would know he would say this needs blue cheese or Roquefort cheese, but he's not going to get it today. Right? Right? He's not going to get it today. Or goat cheese. Okay, so there's our garlic. And you want to glug in there about a half a cup of olive oil?
Sure.
And I'll put in some, we'll do little, I am using lemon zest a lot lately, and I just love it. I love the freshness in the springtime in particular.
This doesn't come out too fast, so I'm just going to stand here and do this, okay? I
could-
could take the top off,
Oh,
but I'm not going to,
all right.
because,
Be like that then.
okay.
I don't think I want to put the little tag from this Meyer lemon in there. And I do love Meyer lemons. Make sure all your produce is organic. But I always think that the cruciferous vegetables and citrus are just absolutely essential because they're very heavily sprayed. All right, I think this recipe calls for about a half a cup of olive oil, and it's calling for about a quarter of a cup of lemon juice.
That's quite, look at it, looks like an orange.
It does.
Very, very nice. I put it
Upside
in
down.
upside, didn't I?
Yeah. Was that about a quarter of a cup? I think so. Let's not add more. All right, I'm going to toss this, and then we'll taste it.
All right, why don't you toss this, and I'm going to put the onions in the main dish
Okay. She's getting very excited about that.
so I can cook eggs.
And if you weren't here, I would swear to heavens to Betsy, I would be doing this with my fingers. Okay, can I mix this now for you before
Alrighty.
I mix the salad?
I'm just going to make some eggs.
All right, we haven't added any salt or pepper or anything, but we'll taste that in a minute. I just wanted to get that kind of bacon incorporated. And I'll go back to making a mess here. Again, we're going to do the fried eggs. And I do want to say, do not be afraid of eggs. They're really, she's so quiet. They are extremely one of the best sources of protein known to man or woman. And they are very inexpensive. I mean, compare them to other sources of protein other than beans but even compared to nuts and seeds, eggs are so much less expensive. And you do know, I'm sure, that if you're using a farm fresh egg, that you are doing yourself good. So do not be afraid of eggs. All right, I really should be doing this with my hands.
Go ahead.
Now that I've started this way, I'm not going to switch. But it'd be very interesting to see how the cultured vegetables, what kind of sort of little zip they give the salad. And I'm hoping that we will all just love it to death. So you notice we haven't used the H word. We haven't said it's healthy, because I do think using that H word is very often the kiss of death, particularly with a child. All right, I'm going to taste this and then I'll add the salt and pepper. So I just want to see. Okay, I think it's pretty good. I don't think it doesn't need much salt. So I'm going to use kind of a scant teaspoon in front of you. A scant, about a half a teaspoon of pepper. Then I'm going to mix it. I'm going to make you taste it.
All right.
I like the cultured veggies in there. It sort of smooths them out because they're very spicy. So it makes them a little bit more mellow. And it adds another layer to the salad that one wouldn't have in an ordinary, just a tossed salad. So tell me, Robin, what you think.
I think it's such a good idea. I don't know if I would have thought of that on my own. You know what I mean? I want to actually taste the culture. Yeah, look at that.
So tell me if you think we should add more cultured veggies or just leave it that way, or does it need more salt?
No more salt. Those are awesome.
Good.
That's fantastic.
So we're done with that?
Yep. Done.
So again, if you buy baby vegetables, if you buy the baby arugula, or if you use baby spinach, that just goes right into the bowl, doesn't even need to be washed. The same with the little endive, just tear them, doesn't need to be washed. The cabbage, I just pull off the couple of outside leaves and put that in my garden and just slice this. This salad literally, again, could take you 5 minutes to make. Next, we want to bring this around and taste it, because we haven't added
No, we haven't, have
oil
we?
or salt or pepper or anything to that one.
All right, let's see what we need to add.
Okay. And I do love the colors of this dish. You know, so you've got the earthy brown of the lentil, you've got the crispy darker brown of the duck bacon. You can use steak and bacon.
Smells
and I
good.
love the orange of the carrots and the green of the broccoli. So remember, when we eat very much with our eyes as much as with our taste buds and our sniffers. So if you don't smell something, it doesn't taste nearly as appetizing to you. And if your eyes don't like the colors, if they aren't bathed by different colors, then that's not going to taste as good either. Do we need any oil on that? Or it looks like it looks enough to me. People can always add extra glug of olive oil. Do not be afraid of olive oil. Do not be afraid of the good fats, because again, every cell in our body needs to be coated with good fat. And if it's not, they begin to degrade and to break down much faster. So when you think of your brain cells, those in particular need to be coated with good fats. And you know, your brain cells are pretty hard to replace. Are we ready to get our eggs on top, do you think?
Almost. You know what I want to do?
No.
I'm going to just do this for 2 seconds, just so the tops cook a little bit.
Okay, and can I add the rest of these vegetables?
Oh, sure.
Or do we want to,
No,
we need
go right
more as a
ahead.
garnish?
I think it's a nice proportion in there.
So you don't want me to add the rest of these?
You can,
So if you have too many steamed vegetables, they're really good the next day for lunch at work. Just put them in a dish, put something else in there, and bring them to work. So you want me to put these away, I can tell.
you can bring them to work.
Okay, I'll put them away. And I do want to talk about arugula and all these greens as well. They have vitamin K, and I'm sure you've all been hearing a lot about vitamin K. It's sold in the supplement department of every natural product store in the country. Why? Because without vitamin K, people can't keep bones strong. So we used to hear just about calcium. Then we heard magnesium and vitamin D is every bit as important, or in my mind, there it goes again, more important for bone health. And we also want to mention here that some of those vegetables in there will help with digestion, which is, again, really important.
Very important.
All right. Shall we move on to dessert?
Okay.
We're going to be using a Vitamix to make this little sorbet. And I've been making variations on this recipe now for a couple of years, ever since I discovered that the Vitamix goes to 220 miles per hour and will take anything you give it and turn it into whatever you want. So whether it's nut butters or soups or today's sorbets.
What about a brick?
What about a brick? She's just being silly. So no bricks. So we're going to do a sorbet. And rather than blueberries or raspberries or strawberries or some of the combinations I usually do, to which I always add a little bit of cinnamon, a little stevia, we're going to use some tropical fruits. So the mix that we are using is we're going to experiment with you because I truly have never done this mix before either. So this mix is a combination of mangoes and strawberries and bananas and pineapple. And I did not think that you or we or any of us need to add a sweetener because there's some bananas in here and they're sweet enough. And we've got mangoes in here and those are sweet enough.
Right.
So let's add that. So we've got about 4, we're going to put about 6. We're going to have about 6 cups of the fruit in there. And I always like to add a little bit of cinnamon, just because. And guess what the only other ingredient in this dish is going to be? One other ingredient. Water. H2O. So use a good water. All right, where's my water?
Right here.
Thank you, darling.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to put in just about 2 cups of water. So I have in here, this is full of fruit. I'm going to put in 2 cups of water. And if that's not quite enough, then, we'll add a little more. But I think that may actually have been too much. I only planned to put in 1.5 cups.
Do you want to pour a little out before?
No, let's
sure?
do it dangerously.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's just pulse it to start. I think it might need more water actually. This is when you need your little handy dandy plunger. I will say in the summertime when there's a lot of local wonderful fruit and organic, berries in particular, only do them organic because berries are very porous and they are one of the top 10 fruits and veggies you definitely want to eat organic so they don't absorb those pesticides. Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, you got it. Oh, that's beautiful.
Look at that. Isn't that incredible?
You really need a Vitamix to do that.
You really
Yeah.
do. You would destroy a regular blender. And I'm just going to taste it and just make sure it's okay. It is very tart. Do you like it that way or should we add a pinch of stevia? I like it this way, but what do you think?
I like it this way, but I think maybe a pinch just for...
Well, if we both like it this way.
I know, but we don't eat sugar. You know what I mean?
I eat sugar.
Oh, okay.
I love sugar.
Okay. I do
Well,
too,
we'll
but
just put it. We'll let people
That's
could drizzle
really
maple
nice.
syrup on it or something. Okay, so let's
Really
get our
nice.
cups.
Okay.
You know what? Stop. Let's do our eggs.
Okay.
Let's just get those into there.
you want them do you want me to just put them on top?
Yeah, just put them on the top.
Okay.
And I want to just talk about, I was worried because I know pineapple and mangoes have a lot of enzymes and they help break down our food into pieces that our body can then absorb and utilize. So without enzymes, we don't break down food properly. And I thought, well, what happens when you freeze fruit? Doesn't that change it? Does that do anything to the enzymes? And the answer is no. Scientists have found that freezing fruit does not do anything to the enzymes at all. And they say that it just slows down the,
Oh, no.
Oh, that looks very pretty.
It was beautiful before I just.
Here, use your spoon. Let's do it together.
Okay. All right, I'll fix it.
All right.
Keep talking about enzymes.
Okay. So just saying that freezing fruit does not destroy the enzymes, and they just say it slows down the speed with which they work as a frozen fruit. And that was discovered and found in an article in 1977, and the publication sounds very scientific, Histochemistry and Cell Biology, and I thought that was really pretty amazing. So that reassured me, and I'm not worried then about eating the enzymes being destroyed in a frozen fruit. So I want to dish some out, and I want to get us ready so we can show the camera what we did.
Okay.
This is very tart. But isn't it a perfect consistency? Robin, would you mind getting a spoon so we can get this out of this cup into these cups a little
Sure.
faster?
Just a spoon to scrape out your.
No, just a small spoon.
Oh.
It's just sticking. Well, I'll keep.
Here you go.
Here, maybe you can help me and stick your spoon in there. Just
Sure.
grab it out. I would have thought, this is nice and tart, I would have thought that the bananas would have made it sweeter, but they didn't. The thing about making a sorbet this way with water as your base is that you really need to eat it quickly, or the sorbet just melts and becomes like a water again. What do I need?
So just. Can they go back in the freezer like this? And
They
I mean,
can.
can you
Yeah, they can. But
save
of
it
course-
that way?
Yeah, but they are best eaten right away. All right, I need here,
Here, you want me to finish that
Yeah,
up for you?
please, darling.
Okay.
and then I'll
Sure.
wash my hands. All right, Miss Robin.
Yes. There. Look at that.
So we are out of time. If we weren't out of time, we would garnish this. We would make it look prettier, but hey, it is what it is.
It is.
So, Robin and Deborah, we've had a blast. We've had so much fun making food that is going to make you eat well
And be happy.
and be happy. So, a really nice, light summer, spring meal.
That looks yummy.
All right.
I'm excited.
Love you. See you again soon. Bye.
Bye.